Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our senior class meeting tonight. It's so great to have you all here with us. Right now, we have about 125 participants. I expect that there are going to be plenty more, and you're going to hear more from me in a minute. But before you hear from me, I want to welcome our 12th grade coordinator, Cricket Dyment, and our graduation party coordinator, Amy Adorney. So, Cricket, Amy, here you go.
Hello. Great. Can you hear me okay? Great. All right. I'm so excited to be here tonight and welcome all of you to our virtual 12th grade meeting. I am Cricket Dyment, grade 12 parent rep, and I'm here tonight representing the PTA. We are so fortunate to have a wonderful relationship with Principal Ralph Mayo and his administration. They are always so supportive of the PTA's efforts, affording us the greatest opportunity to support our children and faculty. So we are thankful that all of our students are back in school, as well as our PTA volunteers. One of the main thoughts I wanted to put forward tonight for the PTA is that your membership counts. We ask you to support us tonight by joining the PTA. We need your help to reach our goal of raising $14,000 by October 30th. If you've already joined, thank you so much. The PTA has purchased 6 additional picnic tables this fall to create extra outdoor spaces. Also, the Wi-Fi boosters to surround the outside of the campus, and 10 TV monitors that were funded by the PTA will be installed soon. Curriculum enrichment is off to a great start as the PTA has funded several initiatives there. So we are grateful for every dollar donated, and I'll put the link in the chat so that you can click and join the PTA tonight. Also, please keep an eye out for the PTA's monthly newsletter, our parent link, or Blink, as well as our emails that provide meeting notifications, reminders, or general information. If you're not receiving our communications, please feel free to email Steph and Layla, your GHS PTA presidents, at ghspta@ghspta.org. If you need to contact me for any questions regarding our 12th grade, my email is grade12coordinator@ghspta.org. My son Andrew is my 12th grader. I have 2 older children who have graduated from GHS and also graduated from college. So I feel like I've been on this rodeo before. And I'm always happy to answer any questions or listen if you would like to chat. So on behalf of the PTA, I want to thank all of you for joining us. And next up is our graduation party coordinator, Amy Adorney.
Hey there, thanks Cricket. I'm gonna be as quick as I can because I know that everyone here is like very busy, probably doing college applications. So I'm Amy Adorney. I'm one of the co-chairs together with Molly Zola and Amy Phillips of the senior graduation party. Woo woo! Okay, I think this is one of the main highlights of the year for our graduating seniors. This is it, this is fun, this is a party, this is their last opportunity to be with their entire class as a class. The party is held on the night of graduation. It goes from about 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. And this is great because it doesn't interfere with all those fancy dinners and photo shoots you're gonna do after graduation, but it conveniently interferes with all the nonsense and shenanigans we all fear is gonna happen on that exciting evening. So I just wanted to put a nice plug in for it. I'm going to tell you right now that this is the way you can help. I hate to do this right after Cricket just asked for money too, but we need donations in order to make this happen. We have a hefty fundraising goal of $28,000 in order to provide entertainment, food, games, and awesome raffle prizes, including MacBooks. So this is really a great event for all the kids and really something that we need our senior class friends and families to get involved. in, and there will be fundraising in the future, like our famous lawn signs. But right now, if you could find a little time to get on My School Bucks and donate under the link there, or send a check in made out to GHS with a little memo to the graduation party, I believe, then we'll be in really great shapes. So that's all I have to say. Back to our regularly scheduled program, I guess. Thanks, folks.
And I have the link for that, but as a panelist, I can't type a question in. So if somebody types something in, like Amy, or somebody types in, where's the link, I can put it in to send it out to you guys. I'll also be emailing it out to all the parents later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy and Cricket. If you think Amy is animated now, you should have seen her when she was a senior in high school. It's something to say. Anyway, my name is Ralph Mayo. I'm the principal of Greenwich High School. This is my second tour of duty at Greenwich High School. My first tour started in 1976. I was a English teacher, a housemaster, a coach, you name it. I did it at Greenwich High School. I then moved on to Eastern Middle School, where I met Cricket, and then to the superintendent's office, and then back to the high school. I'm so happy to be back to the high school. It's such an amazing place. Your children are they're so great. I can't say enough about our kids and the things that they're doing in their classrooms. I've been into so many classrooms so far this year. I plan to be in more the rest of the year, and it's just amazing how talented and gifted our students are. So it's great to be back full force at the high school, and we will try to continue to meet our goals for your students. Some of the observations that I've made so far is that our students are, right now, they're highly involved. As Amy pointed out, right now, they're probably all working on their college essays and worrying about that kind of stuff. But pretty soon that'll all be over, folks, and they'll be in college and you're gonna be wondering what happened. So don't get too stressed about that. We have many ways for students to connect to Greenwich High School. There's over 150 clubs at this point. There are 101 teams that we have right now under Mr. Lindia, our athletic director. So please, if they're not connected to the school, please try to get them and encourage them to become connected. It's one of the indicators of success in high school if your child is connected in one way or another to the school. We have many building projects going on right now. The top three, though, we're remediating fields 3 and 4. Hopefully, we're opening Cardinal Field on Saturday. I say hopefully because the weather forecast is a little bleak, but that didn't stop us tonight. And that will be the end of phase 1 of Cardinal Field, and then we'll be working on phase 2. And then we are going to be breaking ground on our new entryway to Greenwich High School beginning as soon as school ends. So, and then there's many events coming up for seniors that Mrs. Foster is going to talk about. And we have an agenda that I think is very informative for you tonight. We have a few of our student leaders to talk to you about what's going on in the life of a student. We have our Dean of Student Life, Mr. Thomas Pereira, who's going to give you a little overview of that office and what they do there. Our guidance coordinator, Ms. Nedell, will be speaking, and Karen Foster, our Director of Student Activities. So once again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Never thought I'd get to say tuning in, but and hopefully our spring meeting will be in person. So let's all look forward to that. Let me turn this over to 2 of our student leaders, our student government president and our senior class president. So our student government president is Kwame Boateng, and our senior class president is Javier Sierra. So Kwame, Javi, you're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Javi Sierra, the senior class president here at GHS. First off, I just want to say that our senior year is great, is off to a great start thus far. We could dwell on the did not haves of our unconventional high school experience, like my junior wrestling season or some of my friends' football and dance seasons. We could dwell on the lack of a senior quadrant in the student center, a once solidified symbol of senior superiority. We could dwell on wearing masks for the better part of 2 years now. We could dwell on all the lost time. But I challenge all of us not to dwell on these negatives. In a time where we never want to test positive, I implore all of us to find positives elsewhere. They may not always be obvious, but the unique high school experience of the class of 22 presents many of these positives. We have an unparalleled opportunity to revive, reinvent, or reimagine our school's traditions. To this point, we are going to host a senior variety show, more commonly known as SRO, this year. Not sure how we got that acronym. This senior-only production used to include over 500 seniors. In years past, we've lost some of this steam, but we're hopeful to bring it back to its former glory. This has been a staple of GHS for decades. Even Mr. Mayo participated as a student close to a century ago. Please urge your kids to keep this great tradition alive. Mrs. Foster and I are working to make SRO as accessible as possible by reducing the commitment to accommodate all of our busy schedules. Also, the more money SRO raises, the cheaper all of our prom tickets would be. Our Student Government Executive Committee has been working hard on homecoming week. Our VP of Special Events, Angelica Veronis, has been working with Mrs. Foster to have a pep rally Friday at the stadium and a tailgate prior to the Saturday game. They're coordinating food trucks and logistics, but it should offer great opportunity for everyone to come together. We are entering a time of new experiences and environments. The senior class is going to be leaving the nest in more ways than one. But again, parents, as you restlessly worry about the institution, about what institution will be lucky enough to enroll your son or daughter, remember to try to find the positives. As such, we are lucky to be the first class to graduate in our new state-of-the-art Cardinal Stadium. Speaking of graduation, we are beginning to create a list of potential commencement speakers. I ask that you and your kids do not hesitate to reach out to me with any suggestions, and I'll be happy to add them to the list. I just want you all to remember to find the positive during this stressful senior fall. Soon enough, you'll all be crying as your kid shakes their dean's hand on the podium. Thank you.
So Javi, just to correct you for a second, it was 50 years ago, not 100 years ago. 50
Oh, my
years.
bad, my bad.
And SRO stands for standing room only. Okay, Kwame, you're up.
Yeah, so hi all. My name is Kwame Boateng, the current student body president at GHS. Just to kind of piggyback off of Javi, this year has been nothing short of stressful. As we speak, seniors are in the thick of the college application process, partly because it's quite time consuming and has multiple moving pieces, and partly because we all seem to be infected with a contagious virus, also known as procrastination. But I think the cherry on top is that we still are responsible for doing schoolwork, and we don't have the leisure of remote learning days where we could wake up minutes before the start of school and have open note tests. However, despite the obstacles presented in front of us, I'm happy to say that an enduring takeaway for many seniors and myself this year is the joy of being back in school with all of our peers. Although not ideal, we still get to see our friends day in and day out. And whether it be lively discussions during lunch, classroom activities, club meetings, or sport practices, each of these fleeting interactions make all the stress of college and senior year worth it. Above all else, seniors are happy that we can normally engage and enjoy our last year together, something that has not happened for 2 years. And speaking of 2 years, another thing that has not taken place for 2 years is midterms. As midterms will soon be upon us, and nearly half of the school has never taken a midterm, while the other half has not had one for 2 years. Our goal as student representatives is to provide accommodations that make the return to these cumulative assessments as stress-free as possible. Discussions over possible modifications to the midterm schedule have already begun, and I have complete confidence that collaboration between faculty and the student body will result in a peaceful opportunity for students to show their mastery of subjects. In retrospect, it is encouraging to see that being isolated through lockdown and hybrid learning has made the class of 2022 come closer together for the little time we have left. Despite the tragedy of COVID, it made us all realize how much we take for granted. And I'm sure by the time we walk across that stage in June, we'll all understand how lucky we were to have such a devoted support system from teachers and parents alike. So I'd just like to thank you all for your time, and yeah.
Thanks so much, Kwame. At least you didn't insult me tonight. Oh, it's time for our Dean of Student Life, Mr. Thomas Pereira. Tom.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Mr. Mayo. Javi and Kwame, you guys are gonna be a tough act to follow, so I'll leave my insults in my back pocket for this one. I want to
Mr.
thank.
Pereira, before you begin, can Javi and Kwame scoot off to go do some homework?
I'll do that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
They look super excited about that, Miss Foster. I tell you. So I want to welcome everybody back. It's great to see all the students back again in full at Greenwich High School. As Mr. Mayo said, my name is Thomas Pereira, and I'm your Dean of Student Life. So this is my first full year at Greenwich High School. I just completed it this past October. And I'll give a quick gloss of the Office of Student Life, kind of building off what Kwame and Javi were talking about in terms of the positivities that we try to encompass at Greenwich High School. So the Office of Student Life is myself, my administrative assistant, Ms. Rella. We have 5 assistant deans, 1 per house. Bella is Dr. Charles, Cantor is Ms. Mistretta, Clark is Ms. Gillerin, Folsom House is Ms. Boyd, and Sheldon House is Ms. Chiappetta. We also work closely with our 2 school resource officers, Officer Reich and newly to us, Officer Chris Wallace, and then the Director of Student Activities, Ms. Foster, who you'll be hearing from shortly. So we do a lot in the Office of Student Life, as many of you guys know as senior parents. Parking, Cardinal Kudos, we're helping to plan some homeroom activities where we're encouraging our students to connect to our staff in a non-academic manner to help foster relationships, which you think are very important at Greenwich High School. We also work hard to recognize the positivity that's exhibited in our school community, as well as help to organize and host different assemblies and events. We are guided by the mission and the capacities of the vision of the graduate and our overall school goals. As I said before, we look to develop and foster a positive school culture that is guided by common values and behavioral norms. We believe that when students are connected to the school community, they take greater ownership of the decisions that they make. When behaviors are positive, students will experience success. And with that success, they'll exhibit more positive behaviors, encourage each other to do so. At Greenwich High School, we actively promote and we teach common values and behavioral norms. And we believe that positive relationships among students and staff are key, and we strive for that. So a lot of a term that you may be hearing a lot is that of social emotional learning, especially with the 2 years that we've had with the pandemic. So at Greenwich High School, we use positive behavioral supports and interventions, also known as PBIS, as a framework and how we teach those social emotional skills. So through PBIS, our goal is to teach appropriate social emotional skills to our students. We recognize that this is a time of growth for you and for our students. And of course, if students stride off the wayward path, consequences are given as needed and as appropriate. But our main goal is to help support our students in making better choices and to avoid them making the same mistakes twice. We realize that obviously relationships will be broken, and then we work with our students on how best to repair them. And we also believe that all students should be connected to at least one adult in the building. That's why we've instituted things such as the homeroom activities, as well as our flex time. So we also work closely in conjunction with the house teams, your house administrator, the guidance counselor, the mental health team, and the assistant deans, and strive to connect with each student. If students are struggling beyond the house, that's when the Office of Student Life helps to step in. We also want our students to be safe. With that, we do utilize technology such as anonymous alerts and Gaggle. Gaggle is an email filtering system that if certain words are triggered by that we do follow up with our students. And then anonymous alerts, and I'm sure Ms. Foster is going to talk a little bit about the website, is the directions are on the website for that. And it allows students, parents, or pretty much anybody within the community to anonymously submit any sensitive or urgent student issues quickly to our school officials. When those reports are submitted, such as bullying, cyberbullying, things of that nature, it allows us to follow up quickly and swiftly in order to get the students the help that they need. So that's just a quick gloss of the Office of Student Life. Again, welcome back, and we look forward to ending senior year in a positive note.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Our next panelist is our guidance coordinator, Ms. Judy Nedell. Judy.
Thank you, Ralph.
Hello, parents of seniors. I'd just like to talk to you about a handful of things this evening. First of all, I'd just like to thank you and your children for being our pioneers on SCORE, which is our new system for managing the documents and the application process. It's been a bit of a learning curve, but we think the students are doing really well with it. As parents, you are able to have a SCORE account. It is not necessary for you to have a SCORE account. But if you would like to and have not registered yet, you can have your senior invite you to their SCORE account, and so you can view what's in there. I just want to assure you that the guidance assistants, as well as all of the counselors in the houses, are in the process of making sure that the counselor letter of recommendation, transcripts, the teacher letters of recommendation all get sent to the colleges, whether it's through SCORE or whether if we need to download it and send it by email or mail to the college, we do what the college's request of us. The second thing is just a little blurb about financial aid. On October 1st, I sent an email to all seniors and parents of seniors about the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, and the CSS profile. These are the two primary applications for receiving college financial aid. So if you can, don't find that email from October 1st, I'd be happy to send you the information again. It is harder now that the FAFSA and CSS profile are earlier than they used to be because it's right at the same time when students are filling out their college applications. But I would suggest that after maybe the November 1 deadline, when most students have submitted at least one of their common applications, to then shift your family's focus to applying for financial aid. In the Greenwich High School planning guide that we have posted to the Greenwich High School website, there is a list of steps that one would take to apply for financial aid, and it is very clear steps in order to do that. Next Thursday, a representative from Norwalk Community College's financial aid office will actually be in the College and Career Center at Greenwich High School. There are a small number of appointments that can be had between 8:30 and 11:30 and 1 and 1:45 next Thursday. I would recommend that if you have questions about the financial aid form, the FAFSA, that you can send your child in with those questions and we can get them some help to answer them. But also know, please, that any college's financial aid office will be happy to take a phone call from any senior or parent of a senior in order to help them process the FAFSA or the CSS profile. Just like the admissions offices, the financial aid offices at colleges are there to help you and answer general questions. Even if you're not applying to their college and you pick up the phone and get somebody in a financial aid office, they will help you with that information in order to get those applications complete. If as a parent you are filling out the FAFSA for your child, I would also encourage you then to look out for the Greenwich Scholarship Association application that will become available within about a month. Students have until March to complete that. And as soon as it becomes available, we will let you know about the Greenwich Scholarship Association application. And then finally, I would like you to know, January 10th is a financial aid meeting specifically for seniors and parents of seniors that I will be giving on January 10th. It will be virtual at 6:30 p.m. And I will go over the next steps. So getting out the FAFSA and the CSS profile is important now, and then there'll be some next steps that you need to take afterwards. So January is the perfect time for me to share that information with you. And then finally, senior internships and projects. We are targeting senior internships and projects being for a full 4 to 5 weeks this year. The start date is anticipated to be Monday, May 16th. For senior internship and senior project. The past 2 years, this experience has been very modified for the seniors, but this year we expect to be back to a full experience for them, approximately 120 hours.
We will definitely be asking for all parents' help and all our faculty's help to try and get some new internship sites. We definitely lost a lot of internship sites over the last 2 years of the pandemic. We're definitely going to need some help getting some more people on board. The applications information I'll probably send out sometime in December to everyone, and then we will help the students register online in the months of January during the homeroom times that we have scheduled for that. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Judy, there's a question for you. When using the Common App, how do you go about self-reporting SAT scores for some schools and then not submitting SAT scores for other schools?
In that case, then you would probably need to send them directly to the college. So not reporting on the Common Application at all. If you're doing any test optional, don't report it on the Common Application at all, and just send the scores directly to the colleges through the College Board for the ones that you want to send them to.
All right, thank you, Judy. Appreciate it. Okay, Ms. Karen Foster, Director of Student Activities. Big things happening senior year, right, Mrs. Foster?
Big things. Okay, so basically fall, it's all about these deadlines, and then April on, it's all about graduation. Okay, so tonight, right before the meeting, I actually sent out a chart. It says important information and dates and deadlines for seniors. These are dates and deadlines for me. So it's not guidance dates, it's not college dates, it's just extracurriculars at the school, pretty much. Okay. But please know, out of all the items that are listed, and one of the reasons I do this is so that you can see the dates that things are due, and you can also see the cost so that you can kind of, figure out kind of what's coming ahead. Out of all those things that are on there, the only thing that's mandatory is the graduation fee. All the other ones are optional. The PTA is also very generous. So if you do need financial assistance with the graduation fee, with the yearbook cost for seniors, or for prom costs, please have your child reach out to their school counselor. Speaking of graduation, the date for graduation, we do not know yet. That is always set in early April. As soon as we know, as soon as the board decides on the date, then we send it out to everybody. All right, so let's get to the deadlines that are coming up. So the first deadline for you guys, for your students, is senior portraits. The deadline to select their senior portraits is November 10th. So what they're going to do is they're going to log on to the Robert Taylor website, the same place where you see your proofs, and a pop-up will come up and it says, would you like to choose your yearbook photo? If you've already chosen it, the pop-up will no longer come. If you're not sure if you chose it, if you log in and you see your child's proof, below the picture, it'll say YB for yearbook. That's how you know which picture is chosen for the yearbook. You do not have to purchase pictures to choose a picture for the yearbook, okay? You may order pictures at any time. You do not have to order the pictures by November 10th. If you do decide to purchase pictures, those will be mailed directly home to you. Unlike when you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, where the kids come in and they pick them up at student activities, these packets are mailed directly home. Okay, senior portraits aside, now we're moving on to yearbooks. So yearbooks, there's 3 deadlines that are coming up. And they are all December 17th, but I am going to encourage you not to wait till December 16th to work on it. And I'll tell you why. One is, the first deadline is to purchase your yearbook. So the deadline to guarantee your yearbook is December 17th. After that, yearbooks are sold on a first come, first served basis. Yearbooks are distributed in early June. Senior quotes or info. Senior quotes and info are also due December 17th. Senior ads are due on December 17th. Now here's what I'm going to tell you. The ads are not as easy as they seem, and they always are more time consuming for you. So give yourself time to create the whole ad and submit it. Also, please note that sometimes the website where you try to submit the ad doesn't like all the browsers. It doesn't really love Safari. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it could take you a while. So just know that. And also we also found that some jobs block their website. So some people have tried to submit ads while they were at work, like using their work stuff, and it won't work. So just give yourself time for that. Dan Silkman is one of the helpers for the yearbook, so you can always look for an email from him. He will send you information. He's already sent one, maybe two at this point, with all the deadlines and the links. The links are in the information I sent out prior to this meeting. The links can also be found on our website, on the school website. Parking, I know it's such a sore subject for seniors. I know, we just don't have enough. So if your child was lucky enough to have parking first semester, please know that they are not guaranteed parking for second semester. If your child did not have parking first semester, they are guaranteed parking for second semester. Once those who have not had parking yet sign up, they do have to sign up. Once they've signed up, and I know how many students who did not have it first semester are requesting it second semester, then I will send out a Google form to those kids who have already had it, and then we will run a lottery. So potentially kids who had it first semester could be lucky enough to have it second semester. Do I have any idea how many kids that's going to be? I don't, because it changes every year, because it all depends on what seniors are asking for second semester that haven't had it yet. As Javi said, we're really trying to encourage kids to participate in the SRO this in March. It's in early March. It does stand for standing room only. And it used to be this great event for the kids. And the kids really love it. The kids who participate in it have a blast. What we are trying to do is, we know the kids are busy. We know they are scheduled and overscheduled, but this is really a fun team building, bonding event for the kids. So what we're trying to do is make it so that they can do a lot of it on their own. They can kind of get their groups together, get their, whatever they want to perform and everything like that. And we're going to limit the amount of practices that we have to just about the week and a half, 2 weeks before the actual event. So please encourage your kid to do that, because it really is a fun event and the kids really do like it. So a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned is on our school website, and I really encourage both parents and guardians and the students to utilize the website. One of the things that's right on the first page is the daily bulletin. And the nice thing about the daily bulletin is it will have what day we are, it'll have the schedule, the lunch schedule, and if we have an adjusted schedule that day because of a delay, an early release, or homeroom, it's all put in there. It has upcoming events. Like right now, we've got there's an open mic event that's happening on Friday. There's a class of 24 fundraiser. There's information about homecoming. So there's all sorts of things on there. I also put the guidance dates on there. So definitely refer to the daily bulletin. It has a lot of information. The parking information is in there, yearbook information. The senior important info is not up there yet, but it will be going soon. Once we get closer to graduation, we'll put graduation info on there as well. Speaking of websites, the other website that I do encourage people to use is My School Bucks. So we're all familiar that My School Bucks, the kids use for their lunch accounts, where you can deposit money and prepay for their lunch food. Separate from that, the school store, we sell things such as class t-shirts or homecoming tickets, prom tickets, graduation fees, all this stuff you can also pay for using My School Bucks. You can log in as a guest and pay for everything, or you can have an account and pay for it that way. I suggest that everyone create an account, because when you pay through My School Bucks, it does not send you a confirmation email saying that you've already paid for it. So the only way for you to know, unless you go back and check your credit card receipt, is that is if you join. So if you have an account, you can go back and look at your previous purchases. So that's the only way that you're going to know, oh, hey, I already did pay for my graduation fee, or I did buy my prom tickets, or anything like that. So I do highly encourage people to do that. Speaking of homecoming, we have homecoming on November 9th. So I know the seniors are all excited for the big senior dress up day, which is going to be that Thursday. We have a semi-formal dance that Friday night, followed by our football game on Saturday. We're going to do dodgeball on Tuesday night. So that's going to be fun. So please encourage your students to participate in that. And then just a couple more things, emails. So I know I send out a lot of emails, people, I'm sorry, but I have important information. If you should all be getting my emails. I send emails to the primary address and the alternate address. I've had a couple people reach out, more than a couple, say, I'm not getting them. check your spam, please, because I think some of the emails are going to spam because you guys should be receiving, as long as your emails are in our Aspen system, that's how they are sent out. And the one last thing is the PTA incentives. The PTA has been to school a couple of times to pass them out. If you have not yet picked up your PTA incentives, I still have some at the school store. So you can ask your child to come pick them up if you have not gotten them yet. And there's a question, how do we sign up for parking? So for semester 2 parking, that information will go out in January. And then there'll be a Google form for the students to fill out and to sign up for parking. Because second semester parking will start the day after, or the first day of second semester. And that's all I have.
Well, thank you, Karen. That was a bunch of information. Glad you put it in writing and sent it out tonight. Folks, we have time to take questions from the audience. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yes. So the question is, I already have a gown, probably from an older child. Yes, you can only buy the cap or the tassel when all the information comes out about the graduation fee. The graduation fee includes the cap and gown. And so it'll say, it's this if you need everything. It's this if you only need a cap and tassel. It's this price if you only need the cap. Good question. So the cap and gown photo. So if you came to get your senior portraits taken, or your child did, they also had cap and gowns that the kids could choose to also be photographed in. Those are going to be sent out in January. The reason is they wanted to make sure that everyone knew we were only using the other pictures for the yearbook, not any of the cap and gown ones. So those will be available in January to purchase. And then in addition, we do have another photographer that's there at graduation day. So you can actually get pictures, if you don't want the ones that were already taken, you will also have an opportunity to receive pictures on graduation day or from graduation day.
So Judy, what else do we have?
Question about senior internship. Is every senior required to participate?
Well,
So,
I can answer that
yeah.
question if you want. So no, you're not required to participate in the senior internship. You could stay in your classes. You could go on the internship. You can also do a senior project. So there's 3 different options for seniors in the spring. How did I do, Jude? Is that good?
Exactly.
Thank you.
What is the Greenwich Scholarship Association? So the GSA is an organization that's all volunteer, and they have been in existence at least 20 years, if not more than that. They collect sponsors from the community, and they distribute scholarships to our graduating seniors in the most equitable way possible. The interview, there's an application and an interview process. The interviews happen, I think, the last day in April, if I'm not mistaken. The application deadline will definitely be in March, and we will distribute that information through the school counseling department when they become available.
There's a question. It says, just considering, I think it's cap and gown pictures are not required. I think it means to purchase them. If I'm wrong, please type it in. You are not required to purchase cap and gown photos. You are required to have a cap and gown for graduation and a tassel. So that's part of the graduation fee. Pictures in the cap and gown, not required, but you do need to wear one at graduation.
Oh, one more question.
If you've already ordered the yearbook through the website, so it's yearbookforever.com. If you think you've already ordered, you can actually go to that website. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a button like "not sure you ordered?" or something like that. And you can click that and put in your email address and you can check. And if it doesn't work, then email me and I can find out. Graduation announcements. Graduation announcements will come. You're talking about the paper ones. They will come in a mailing at the end of the year. announcing when graduation is will come in April.
Okay, folks, anybody else? No other questions? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, thank you for logging on tonight. We deeply appreciate that. We want to be collaborative and we want to communicate everything that's going on at our great high school. Oh, wait a minute, we got a question. There we go.
Is this
Good.
recorded?
Yes, this session is recorded and you can give our folks a couple days and it'll be up on the website. Okay. All right, well, I'd like first, and I'd also like to thank our panelists tonight. Thank you all for spending time with both the 9th grade parents and the 12th grade parents. I appreciate that. And okay, folks.
Good
Good
night.
night. Wait a minute. One more. We got one more? Yeah.
You're
Oh,
welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. Okay. Good night, folks.
Good night.